Okay, so as I was saying, for those of you that are watching this at a later date, if you do only have a personal page and you don't want to manage a business page, um, make sure that, like Amy was saying, that your bio says something about you being a real estate agent, but then also for your cover page, make your cover page about real estate. And then people are going to know. And you can post whatever you want to both pages. But coming back to that, don't be a secret agent. This applies even more so if you are only doing a personal page. And if you're the person that likes to keep your personal page private, you don't want other people to see your pictures, there is a way in Facebook that you can set your post. You can change the privacy settings on each individual post. So I was that person who wanted to keep it all private and locked down when my son was younger. And so it was still private. And then I opened it up once I started doing real estate. And if there's those really personal posts that I just kind of want friends and family to see, then I'll make it private. And then only those people that are on your friends list can see it. You can also do it so that it's private just to a few people if there's something that personal that you want to post. So just something to keep in mind if you're only managing a personal page and you don't have both. And then, of course, like Amy said, the disadvantage to having only a personal page is that you can't run ads or boost posts, which is one of the ways that you get your face out there in front of other people.
Absolutely. And on your personal page, you can have groups. So you can have certain groups see your stuff. It takes a minute, but you can create like so you're batching it out to different people. Um, but definitely make sure that you are not a secret agent and that you are out there if somebody Googles you. So we talked a little bit about what to share. It can be anything. First flowers of spring, saw a beautiful cloud today. I mean, just be out there, but try to be yourself on your personal page. When to share. So we get so bogged down on what am I supposed to share? When am I supposed to share it? My hair needs to look perfect. Oh my gosh, I was, doing a video and I tripped over my words. At this point, what we want you to do is just get your face and name out there. So we want you to pick something and focus on that one thing, and then add to it. So say you decide to do stories, once you get your stories down and you're doing at least one story a day, several would be great. Then you can add reels. If you're already doing reels or you want to start with reels, but give yourself a realistic goal, not I'm going to post 20 times every day because you really do run out of things to say. You also have those evergreen posts that you can reuse at other times. And you can take the same post. So you will find that sometimes a picture in my story is going to be something that I pulled out of a reel that's going to be part of a post. Um, so you can use these across platforms. So when you're creating content, think about the fact, can I use this in 4 or 5 different ways? And it doesn't all have to be posted on the same day. Um, I know Katrina does, I think you still do like a local Fridays or just a certain day that you had like local businesses or
I did. I had Food Friday where I highlighted local businesses. I've gone away from that because I'm trying to steer my Facebook page back to being more hyper local, whereas I was trying to cover both Washington and Cincinnati.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to just make it back to Cincinnati, but just do a quick review on a restaurant. And if you're not going out, like sometimes money's tight, you can't afford to go out. Just go to that company's Google page and steal someone else's review. And then Google and then click on images for that restaurant and you'll get images of the food. That's what I was doing. And also if you go in and post a review on Google, another thing that you can do to kind of boost your analytics across the board is post a review of everything you do, everywhere you go. If you go to the grocery store, hey, I was just at Kroger this weekend and man, they're not out of anything. Just it gets your name up there if you're posting, like when I do an actual review of a restaurant I've eaten at, not just on my Facebook page, and it gets you in front of people a lot more. It's just that name and your face. But on your Facebook page, that's a simple way to do it. Just go in, steal someone else's review, or if you ate there a long time ago, use your own review. Today, I did coffee with Kat today, and I'm going to do a quick little review because I had the best scone I have ever had in my entire life. And so I'm just going to post about that scone and, go from there. So you don't have to go to the restaurant. You can ask friends for their opinions. I did that when I ran out of restaurants in Washington. I messaged one of my friends who eats out a lot. Hey, I need a review for like 5 different restaurants. And then I had 5 weeks of posts. So,
And the other thing you can do, whether it be a restaurant, a local boutique, a store, something like that, and you're out, say you're out having lunch, stop by and take a picture of each of those. Maybe you're not doing a review, but you need something for stories. And so you post today that, lunch with my favorite lender at whatever. Or well, you might not want to say that on your page. Lender lunch. But you've also took a picture of 2 other local places and a boutique. Then you've got content for tomorrow, next week. Just run a story. And a lot of times I'll just do a story. Yesterday I went out with a large group of ladies to lunch, snapped a quick picture. I put, I think Myrtle Beach Girlfriend's lunch, had it as a story. I
another
didn't do a
thing,
review. I didn't do anything like that. I just took a minute because I didn't have time for the whole thing. So you can always come back later if you snag a picture of the front of the restaurant and have a review later. But
yeah.
today you have a picture of your favorite dessert because you've got a minute. So
Another
get you
thing,
some stock information, like stock photos. I take a ton of photos and you can go back and use them later.
yeah. And another thing that I'm going to be doing this kind of later into the spring, to work on the whole hyper local thing is I'm going to start featuring small businesses, just like a 1 or 2 minute reel or live or however it ends up. Maybe it's just going to be a video. But go and talk to those businesses and get them to, if you reference this video, you get 10% off of your purchase, kind of thing. Like something as simple as my Scentsy dealer. If someone says Kat referred me, they get 20% off. So, just little things like that, that give something of value to the people who are watching. And then it also promotes the local businesses. So, and you could
Mm-hmm.
do that, give you a different post. You could go out, hit up 5 shops on one day. That gives you your reels or your stories or whatever for a week. Or if you're only posting a reel once or twice a week, that gives you a month worth of
Mm-hmm.
content. So,
Now, something to think about when you're posting a reel on Facebook, a lot of that music, I don't understand why, but when you post it on Instagram, it can go to Facebook. Many of the times when I try them on Facebook, they will not automatically go to Instagram and they won't let me share them to Instagram because whatever reason that music is being used. So either download it or just know that that day you're posting a reel to Facebook and it's not going to Instagram. And that's okay.
and if you do use music, whether it's Facebook or Instagram that you start with, a lot of times you can't download that music. But if I'm doing, you're right, they won't share both ways. Instagram will share to Facebook. Facebook will not share stories to Instagram, but they do. I think it does share the reels. But you can download. So I record my reels in Instagram and I download it before I add music. Once I've added my captions and stickers and anything else I'm going to do to fancy it up, download it to your phone, and then you can cross post it everywhere without having the little Instagram icon, on it. And then you just add music from each app, whatever's fitting. So it's super, I repurpose everything. In fact, I want to go back and repurpose YouTube videos into a podcast or something, it's on the long list of things that I'd like to do. So, but repurpose everything. You make one post in Facebook, go do it in, if you make a reel in Facebook, go post it in TikTok. I will even post my reels as a short video in Twitter. So,
one thing that I heard, I think it's Cherie Mack, who's maybe
yeah.
the one that mentioned it. But I like staggering them, and I've been trying to do that, like not stories obviously, but like reels and posts. I've been trying to like stagger them so that they don't hit all the pages all on the same day, all at the same time.
That's an idea.
I do that with my stories.
Because like if somebody sees it here, they're going to ignore it the next 2 places. But if it like pops up on a different day, they might. So like I try to do, I don't know. I'm not really good with the tiki-taki, but I try to like put stuff on there. But with Instagram and Facebook, I've been trying to like stagger everything like a day, maybe 2 days, just so they show up at different times. So maybe you get different audiences seeing them. I don't know.
That's a great idea.
I do that with my Motivation Mondays, because I post them in 4 different places. And sometimes I don't always get it right. And I'm having to come up with a way to organize that. but what you get this Monday in one of my groups or one of my pages, you may get 3 Mondays from now on a different page. So I'm trying, I'm still trying to work out a way, like a scheduling way to keep up with that, because it's hard to keep up with. But I think that's a great idea.
So I've been, honestly, I just like, now and I'm not doing them that far in advance at this point. Like, I'm working up to that. I'm really just scheduling like 1 week at a time at this point. But in the Meta business suite, the scheduler makes that actually pretty easy, because you can just copy and paste it into a different day, into a different.
Yeah, my issue is the because they're all sitting in my
Instagram
Canva.
Monday.
They're all sitting in my Canva, and I don't know which one I used where, so I need to create a spreadsheet or something. That's the problem. Yeah. Is it's like, which one did I use?
I find that issue because I use coffee and contracts, and I don't use them in order at all, because
I don't either.
I feel like so many people do, and I'm like, well, I've seen that post like 27 times today, so I'm not going to do that one. So I mean, I'm using stuff from like last year, because nobody's using last year's stuff right now. But I don't remember what I've used. Like, I need to, that's something that I need to figure out, is how to, like, same thing, like a spreadsheet or something. And I used, this XYZ so that I can keep that all track.
You could just create, you could create folders in your computer directory. I do it just for, I say like used in 2023, but I like, Stephanie, what you were saying about staggering them. So I might change that. So you can put used week of, 3/5 or 4/5, 23, used week of this, used week of that. And then, and you could separate it out by Facebook and Instagram. So that would probably be easier than going in and creating a spreadsheet, I would think.
Right. And then just like, put in like the date of whatever, the date in contracts. Like, it was April, whatever today is, 5th of 2022. This is the posts that I used, but I used it today or whatever.
Yeah, and you can just put the
that actually.
You were breaking up a bit.
Like the title.
Yeah, so you were breaking up a bit. So I think what you were saying was you could save it as, like from coffee and contracts this date, I posted it on this date. And I do all my photography. Yeah, exactly. I do it by date. So that would be super easy just to kind of add to the process. I think that's a really, really good idea to stagger those posts. One thing I wanted to make sure to bring up too was that if you do have your business page, and I think Amy touched on this, don't forget to post personal to your business page. So like on Monday, I have Mondays something personal, and I was really good in the beginning about like, if I posted something fun that we did on the weekend, on my personal page, I would go post it on my business page as well. And I've gotten away from that because honestly, since buying our fixer upper, we haven't had any extra money for going anywhere and doing anything. So, because everything's going into the house. So, I want to get back to doing that, because I typically don't post on the weekends. So, because I was doing the personal stuff on the weekend.
Yeah, and I love that idea. Like, that's one that and the coffee with Kat. Like, you're totally gonna see me rip those off soon.
Go for it.
Because they're such great ideas. I mean, I go work in a coffee shop like once or twice a week anyway. So come sip with Steph or whatever. Like, I mean, just to put that out there and have it be a regular thing. Like, that's such a cool idea. If you're there already, like, why not?
I like that. I like that. I like that sip coffee with Steph.
Oh, I like that too. Well, I've got one more item to leave you guys with on Facebook, because I want to make sure that Kat can get to the Instagram piece. And it's something to boost the algorithm. And it's something to help you guys as well. So I know that video can be difficult, especially if you don't feel like you're doing perfect. But a way to boost the algorithm, and if you're like me, you have a ton of real estate agents, lenders, and everybody else on your personal page now all of a sudden. So take the time and go in and send a message in Messenger. So if it's somebody's birthday, feel free to comment on it, but send them a happy birthday in Messenger. Not as a text. Now, not that that's not great to keep texting people, talking to people. But when you're doing your high fives, don't just comment, but take a minute. And if you can do it as video, that is fantastic. But if it sees that you're interacting with Messenger, and especially if the people respond to you, then it's going to bring them up. So be like, oh my gosh, your grandbaby is so cute. I haven't talked to you since high school. Looks like you are having a great time living wherever, or let's catch up soon. But take the time. So in addition to your daily high fives or tens or whatever you're doing, commenting on people that you know's page, pick a number that is reasonable and send a text every week, preferably every day, to X number of people. Add that to your list, not to overwhelm you, but that is going to boost the algorithm. These people know each other and they're interacting. So say something that you'll get back a thank you, or, oh, so good to see your face. Bonus points for video.
Yeah,
I'm
always
trying to
end
find
with a
something for
question.
happy birthday. I'm trying to find happy birthday, something with happy birthday that's not like cheesy of me singing you happy birthday, because like if I've known you for 20 years and I've never sent you a message in Messenger with me singing you happy birthday, it's going to get weird. So, pick some things that work for you, but ways to boost your algorithm in Facebook. And that's a great way to do it. You need to interact with these people. So start adding Messenger, even if you just pick one day a week that you're going to do it or whatever, just make sure that you're interacting with these people that you know, and then they're going to see your stuff and it's going to come to the top of their newsfeed.
That's a
That's
really
really
good,
all I have about Facebook.
that's a really good piece though. I'm glad you shared that with us. Thank you.
Is there anything, any questions, thoughts, ideas that you guys have that you want to add about Facebook?
I have a question.
Mhm.
What did you say that, can you schedule things out using coffee and contracts?
So I don't use coffee and contracts anymore, but I would imagine if you've got the information saved that you should be able to schedule it.
Okay.
Yeah, so
So-
I do schedule my coffee and contracts. And if you go into you can't schedule in your personal page, but you can on your business page. So
Okay.
what I do is on Monday mornings, I sit down, I schedule my social media for the week. So I'll pull down that coffee and contracts thing that I want to use. I'll personalize it. I'll save it to my hard drive. And then I go into the Meta Business Suite planner, and then I just schedule it out. And maybe offline, Carrie, you and I can help you get through that a little bit. And I know, Stephanie, I think you just recently started actually scheduling your social media out, and you said that it's been really helpful.
Yeah, so it's once you do it once or twice, it's super
Yeah.
simple to do. Like the hardest thing is just coming up with your stupid hashtags and all that crap.
Right.
But yeah, so the way coffee contracts, and I don't know if you have it or not, but
I do.
Like, you do. Okay, so I just go through that calendar and I just pick the ones.
Yeah.
I'm like, I open the ones that like speak to me, so that they're like saved in my Canva, and I do it on Monday mornings, which I should be doing it Sundays, but on Monday morning, I just kind of go in there and look at the ones that I had saved down for like April or whatever. And then just pop a few in and it's simple. Honestly, the hardest part to me is coming up with hashtags and personalizing like the thing in Canva, because like I want to use, like, I know you're supposed to use like the branded pictures and all, but I have like one branding photo, like legit branding photo, and one that I use more because I like it more, that I took against my house and just retouched the crap out of. So I don't actually have like non-troll lifestyle photos of myself, which is something I need to work on as well. So like that's the hardest part for me, is trying to like infuse some personality in it without my face being in it.
Yeah.
Just do your
I
colors.
have that
your
reminder
branding.
media too that I need to like really get into the habit of, because there you can schedule things out too.
Yeah. So two things to
You
add
can only
about.
do Facebook to reminder media. Reminder media does not go to Instagram, that I have figured out anyway.
Yeah, it does. It does. You
Does
just
it?
have to link it. Yeah, you can link both Instagram and Facebook.
Well, maybe why don't we talk?
It's not letting me do that. I might have to talk to
Why
Yeah.
don't we talk about maybe throwing in Reminder Media? It's not a social media platform, but maybe we can throw it in at the end of the going over all the social media stuff. And I can talk to them and get a discount code for whatever. Because then I'm sure there's a ton of people that don't know about it. You know, you don't know about it
Right.
until you hear about it, kind of thing. But there's two things that I wanted to add on Facebook. And one is you should always have a story. And that story should always have your face. So what I did is I had some gifts made for like, it was ridiculously cheap. I don't remember, like, I mean, I guess not cheap, but like $150, I got 10 gifts and they're cutouts of my photos. And so you can just, if it's a post about, like you're posting a graphic that you shared on social media and you're now sharing it as a story, you can just put in your little GIF with your face there. So that you should always have a story and it should always have your face. And then the other thing too that I read recently was people are tired of links to blogs. So I don't think any of you guys use any blog posts. I know I do sometimes, so it's something I've got to change. But that what the article said was instead of doing it as a blog, do it as a story. So I use Keeping Current Matters for my blog posts, and they changed things up and I can't share it the way that I used to. So that's kind of forcing me. It's been on my list to change it into an actual video or a quick reel or something like that. So that was just a couple of things I had about Facebook.
That's really good to know because like that's pretty much where I mean I keep them on my website, but like I'll share that to my Facebook and my LinkedIn is really the only two places.
Yeah, because
So
LinkedIn is they
that's
want the
interesting.
articles there on LinkedIn, and we'll talk about that when we go over the LinkedIn platform. And then also Facebook Lives. I mean, I think all the trainings we've attended, people talk about the Facebook Lives. What I found is that if you do it just consistently once a month or once a week or whatever, that helps as well. And I know like with Coffee with Kat, I've just started doing a quick one that says, hey, I'm here, you know, coming at you live from Kava House in Wilmington. I'm here to talk to you, blah, blah, blah. So they do like to see the lives in there as well. For Instagram, and this will also go for like your hashtags in Facebook. They don't want like the 10 hashtags anymore or 20 or 30. What works now is 3 to 5 hashtags. And if you're scheduling your social media through Facebook, there's a way to save your commonly used hashtags so that all you have to do is go into the saved and then just click on the ones that you want. So like I have like 30 saved for the different things that I post. So 3 to 5 hashtags on Instagram. Also with Instagram, video is best. The posts are fine, posting graphics are fine, but they really want the video. The whole reason Instagram was designed was to tell stories with graphics. That's why you can't just post words to Instagram. Again, consistency, same thing with Facebook, but consistency equals real growth. And I've proven that to myself in different challenges and things like that I've done. When I have posted consistently, my numbers and my algorithms and the number of video watches goes up like 100% or more. I think at one point it was like 230% higher than the previous month. And that's just because it only takes 3 seconds of looking at your video for Instagram to register that someone's looked at your video. So if you can hold them for 3 seconds, even if they don't watch the whole thing, it counts. And another thing, ideas for posts. So there is a website called answerthepublic.com. Chris Smith shared this with a group of us during his training for, oh goodness, what's the name of his book? Ladies, no, not
Conversion code.
conversion code.
Conversion code.
Okay, so I was doing a training with him about his conversion code thing, and he shared with us answerthepublic.com. And what it is you can do like 3 free searches a day, I think, and then it's still only like $9 a month if you want to go really into depth with it. But you type in like real estate, and it will show you on a wheel what questions are being asked about real estate. And what I found most recently that was popular is when are home prices going to drop? when are interest rates going to drop, and investing. Those seem to be the popular questions. So it takes all the information from all of the search engines and combines it to come up with the most commonly asked questions. Find out what that commonly asked question is, and then do a short reel on it, answering that question for people. And then use a hashtag that is the name, the words that were used on Answer the Public. So if it is, when are home prices going to drop, use a hashtag that's related to that. I was in Answer the Public like just the other day, like I said, because I was curious looking at to see what the current topics were, because I needed some ideas. So really that's just the biggest thing with Instagram, is to keep it to videos, not just stagnant posts. Like you could take, Carrie, you do the multiple and you probably do too, Stephanie, with coffee and contracts. Keep the multiple, like where you have 5 or 6 slides with your post. You can really easily turn that into a video in Canva, and I'm happy to show you guys offline how to do it. It doesn't take really any time to do it. And then you can take those 5 posts, and then Carrie, I think you turn yours into a carousel. You can do that too, but video is still better than a carousel. So it's basically an order of hierarchy: video first, carousel, and then stagnant photos. Because you want something that's just going to keep moving, that doesn't require any action from the person that's looking at it. And again, coming back to what Amy said, don't worry about making mistakes. Don't worry about how you look. The videos that I've done that have gotten the most likes, and I'm pretty consistent about posting stories and reels and videos. The ones that get the most likes are the ones where I'm talking and I screw up and I'm like, but okay, what are we talking about? You know, another time, a couple years ago, I did the 24 days of Christmas, and I did a giveaway, and I was testing all of the filters in Instagram. And so I would put a filter on me for the drawing, and it would be super funny, and those would get the most watches. So, you know, it's just play with it, have fun. You'll figure out what works for you and what doesn't work for you, but consistency is the most important thing, regardless of your platform, Facebook or Instagram.
I was on a call yesterday and they were talking about social media, and they were saying the worst thing like real estate agents should be doing right now is be done with the just listed, just sold
Yes.
posts. I do new listings and just to throw it out there, but I don't do like still like just listed things anymore. But what I do now, like whenever I go under contract or the sale closes, I video of me changing out my sign. So I take the for sale sign out and put the pending sign. Then I take the pending sign out and put the sold sign. And then I just put music to it and I speed it up. So I'm like walking up, changing it out. And I got that idea from a lady that I follow in Pittsburgh that does really cool things like that. So I do that now instead of doing under contract or sold. And I get a ton more attention from those than I do anything else.
And piggybacking on that too, I know it's not for you guys, Stephanie and Amy, but for us here in Ohio, things have really slowed down. And even more so for me being in a more rural area, even though I do cover 3 of the major cities. But when you're not posting them because you're not doing work and you're consistently posting them, then people don't know that you don't have work. So, you know, and I think one of my things this year, I for my cousin, I actually said, hey, I'm moving away from posting every time I go under contract or whatever, but this one's important to me. And, you know, then share that story. Or pictures or a short video of you giving your client keys at closing. You know, something just short and sweet. But I've heard the same thing too, Carrie, to go away from sharing those, because honestly, people don't care. The whole point of doing it before, and I think what we were all taught, was it shows people how busy you are and that you are doing the job. But you don't have to be busy to do the job well, you know.
One of the other things that I saw was and I know we keep talking coffee and contracts, and that's not necessarily, you know, specific to that, but just with like something like that where you have those that are designed to be like visual posts. I saw somebody say that they take just the caption and just do just a straight talking head video with that as well. So that's another way to kind of like get your face on it and like, you know,
Yeah. So instead of
make,
doing a
make a
regular,
reel out of it, that's something going to be there. You get that real engagement, and it's
Mhm.
also still, you know, kind of getting all that, and then you can pop it up to a story. Hey, look at my new reel.
I do that too. I'll take like my reels that I do and I'll turn around and post them as a story like the next day, because the stories are seen by anybody and everybody. They just show up in your newsfeed. They don't have to like you. They don't have to be your friend. They just show up in your newsfeed. That's why it's important to always have a story so that you're showing up.
So to add to what Kat said, or just to like drive that home, you know, you really do have the 3 seconds for some to grab somebody's attention. So don't do the hi, this is Amy Chavis with eXp Realty coming to you from the coast. I've already lost them.
Yeah.
So pop in first with a, you know, have you been looking for a house with a pool? Or, you know, ever, you know, whatever the topic is, put that first, because you've got that 3 seconds to grab them and you can say who you are. So if you're doing like, you know, I'm bringing you, because I'll probably start doing markets in a minute. It's not going to be like, hey, this is Amy Chavis bringing you markets in a minute. Be like, hey, did you know that the, you know, average days on market in Little River has dropped by 3 days? I'm totally making stuff up here on the fly, but have a hook first. You can end
Yes.
with who you are. If they're watching you, they probably can see your name at the top. But just get away from having a little intro on your story, or not in your stories, in your reels, because you lose people with your name.
Yeah. And you called that right. It's actually called the hook. It's the hook is what gets people to watch. I'm reading the Hook Point book right now, and it says to play around with hook points and see what works. Sometimes the same little hook might always work. You know, like, hey, are you thinking about buying a home? I've got something to tell you. That could work for like 15, 20 videos.
Mm-hmm.
So, but definitely, absolutely do not lead with, hi, Kat Williams, realtor in Wilmington, Ohio, coming at you. But, you know, don't lead with that.
Or, oh my gosh, you're not going to believe what I found on a showing today.
Think
Or who has
about
your
some of the,
favorite burger?
yeah, think about some of the videos that you see like on YouTube where it'll say, you know, why you don't want to buy this product, but then you click on it and it's all about the great thing that that product is. But the hook point was, you know, oh, this, I thought this was a great product. Somebody's telling me not to buy it. I got to watch.
Well, right now, just thinking about that, you could be like, why now is not the right time to buy a house? You know, yes, interest rates are high, but 100% of what you were paying in rent is going to your landlord. And you can, you know, right now is always the best time. You know, prices historically are going to have gone up. I mean, you can reverse practice, but you can take that right now and turn it into something.
Yeah.
Why you shouldn't buy a house right now.
All right, you
Gonna
guys,
get
we have another call at 2:30. So are there any other questions or anything that you guys have going on?
I don't think so.
I
Okay.
hope some of this was helpful. Things change all the time. So whatever we're doing now will change in a month or two. And we'll have to change it up a little bit to throw the algorithm off and follow up whatever the latest is. So keep an eye on stories for Facebook and let's see if they take off or not.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're looking for some accountability or whatever, you can set yourself, you're going to put a story up every single day for the next 2 weeks. And then, you know, come back and pop in to the group and say, hey guys, you know, after we did our thing, we tried this and it totally worked, or here's my numbers. You know, that way the group, you can use it as an accountability tool as well.